Hello, students. Today we are going to do the critical analysis of the poem When to the Sessions of Sweet Silent Thought by William Shakespeare. Sonnet 30 is one of the 154 sonnets written by the English poet and playwright William Shakespeare. It was published in the quarto in 1609. It is also the part of the fair youth portion of the Shakespeare sonnet collection, where he writes about his affection for an unknown young man. While it is not known exactly when Sonnet 30 was written, most scholars agree that it was written between 1595 and 1600. It is written in the Shakespearean sonnet form, comprising of 14 lines of iambic pentameter, divided into 3 quatrains and a couplet. Sonnet 30 was written by the English poet William Shakespeare. Despite its author's youth and inexperience, the poem broods on life's disappointments. For the speaker of the poem, even thinking about such sorrows bring them back with all their original pain and power. Only one thing offers solace and comfort in face of such pain, that is the love the speaker feels for a dear friend. The poem opens up with the speaker remembering his past losses. The narrator grieves his failures and shortcomings while also focusing on the subject of lost friends and lost lovers. Within the words of the sonnet, the narrator uses financial language. He uses words as sessions, summon, dateless, and many other legal terms. It is as if the narrator is taking meticulous accounts of his own grief and adds an unhealthy dose of guilt to the proceedings. The poem remains abstract as the process of remembering becomes the drama. About halfway through the sonnet, the speaker changes the tone. Instead, ending with a joyous tone as if reminiscing about a dear friend, he produces restoration and gain and not loss. Overall, the sonnet starts from a funeral gloom through bankruptcy to a happy ending. In the first line, the phrase sessions of sweet thought introduces the concept of Shakespeare remembering the past events. Stephen Booth mentions the word sessions refers to judges sitting in the court of law. It is also means to call a certain quality into action, such as Shakespeare calling sessions of sweet thought because Shakespeare thoughts eventually became painfully rather than sweet. Finally, the third and the fourth line refers to Shakespeare's regrets. In the third line, he says sigh, which means lament. Starting on the line 5 of the sonnet, the narrator speaks about not being able to fully reminisce about his friend using his own eyes. He then recounts that friends of his are long gone within death's dateless night. Now, using the term dateless as time without limit, it does not mean that his friends are necessarily dead. They may be actually not meeting him, or they may be gone, and this night or this devoid will never come to an end. Now he mourns the expense, and this is also used to express the narrator's mourning over what the loss of precious friends and how it cost him in sorrow. Then Shakespeare mourns over his past hardships and sorrows. The lines from woe to woe tell over suggest a kind of a metaphor in which Shakespeare's woes and failings are like an account book which he reads over and over. The word heavily before these lines also suggests that Shakespeare reads his account book in a painful manner. Finally, the fact that the words for bemoaned moan means that Shakespeare is continuously reviewing his past sorrows and he is feeling grief. The couplet of the sonnet consists of line 13 and 14 and then seem to be used to clinch the sonnet's ending. It offers the compensation as all woes vanish in recollection of the dear friend. The narrator talks as if the joy of a dear friend wipes out all the pain of remembrances. One of the most notable things about Sonnet 30 is Shakespeare's use of terms accounting dateless, cancelled, expense, tell over, account, pay, losses, restored. These are all borrowed from the world of accounts. And it looks like a bookkeeper is keeping his account of grief in his mind. Sonnet 30 also borrows from the legal profession session, summit in the first 2 lines. There is an official or by the book feel to this poem.